This video is your practical, no-nonsense guide to the summer solstice of 2025 and what it really means energetically and astrologically. I'm Gable Collings, and I'm an astrologer who is tired of the pop astrology lies. I'm here to tell you the truth about what these astrological events mean and how you can make the most of them in your daily life. The summer solstice is often referred to as the longest day of the year, and what that actually means is that it's the day with the most sunlit hours, the most hours that the sun is above the horizon. In spiritual circles, this is considered a time of abundance and prosperity. This is a time when the energy of the sun, masculine energy, is really highlighted in the collective. And it's also an energetic pinnacle, because for us in the northern hemisphere, it's the middle of the year and it's a peak of high energy. This is your opportunity to look back at the past 6 months or even 12 months and review what's worked and what hasn't, and celebrate what has been working out well for you. But the summer solstice is really not important at all astrologically. All it is the day that the sun makes its annual transition from Gemini into Cancer. Pop astrologers and spiritual people are going to try to convince you that all the solstices and equinoxes are important astrologically, but they're not. They're just trying to do this because they want everything to be connected, but it's not. They want there to be a connection between the transitions between the seasons and something meaningful astrologically and energetically, and in Wicca, and all the spiritual things. But the truth is, not all of them are connected. Some things are more important in one form of spirituality or one kind of energetic cycle, and not so much in others. Now, I'm not saying you can't celebrate the summer solstice. You absolutely can. If you want to, go ahead and make the most of it. And if you are following Wicca, it's an extremely important day. And if you are farming, growing food, it's also important to note. But don't lie and say that it's astrologically significant, because it's not. And I want to emphasize this by telling you what's happening astrologically this summer solstice in June 2025. What is going on the day of the solstice, and let's take a look at what's going on astrologically and if that's important or just another day. This summer solstice is going to happen on June 20th, 2025 at 7:42 p.m. Pacific time, which is 10:42 p.m. Eastern time. And guess what? There are no significant transits happening on June 20th. No significant global transits happening astrologically. So guess what? It's just another day. But since you're already here, I figured I'd give you a little bit of insight into what's happening astrologically, because even though there's no significant astrological events happening on that day, there are some long-term things that are happening in the collective that are important to note, especially if you're not already aware of them, so that you can have a better idea of where we're at collectively, what's happening in the world, and why. So we are reaching the end of direct season, which is when most of the planets are direct instead of retrograde. And that, along with Mars having recently moved into Virgo, there's a lot of planetary support right now for forward movement, external changes, and aligned action, as well as traditional productivity. And when I say traditional productivity, I mean getting things done, ticking things off a to-do list, because rest can be productive, having fun can be productive, doing nothing can be productive, but traditional productivity is what society deems to be productive. Ticking things off, reaching goals. That is something that direct season and Mars and Virgo are very supportive of. And both kinds of productivity are important. This summer solstice isn't the exact day that the sun is going to move from Gemini into Cancer. It'll happen a couple days afterwards, but when it makes that transition into Cancer, it's going to be joining Mercury and Jupiter. So there will be a significant amount of Cancer energy moving into next week, the week after the solstice. And Cancer energy is usually very emotional, nostalgic, very centered on the home and family, and it's also a very feminine energy. So that's what's happening on a more personal level astrologically surrounding this summer solstice. And on a global scale, there are 2 Jupiter squares that are still kind of in effect during the solstice. That's the Jupiter-Saturn square and the Jupiter-Neptune square, and they're still stirring things up in the collective on a global scale. And also, we have Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which are promoting rebellion and innovation in the world. I think it's pretty clear how the Saturn and Neptune in Aries and the Jupiter squares have been playing out on a global scale, especially this month, with what's happening in Los Angeles and the No Kings protests. There are other ways than that, I'm sure some that I'm not even thinking of, but I think it's very obvious the global effects of these. And if you'd like to learn more about any of these astrological events, I have posts up in the post section of my YouTube channel. You might have to scroll back a little bit for Saturn and Neptune and Aries, but they are there with more details about what it means for the collective, what it's meant historically, and also a little bit about what it means for on a more individual level. But I want to emphasize that the best way to determine what's going on astrologically and how you're going to work with those energies isn't the global transits. They can indicate some global trends, and whatever energy is available to the collective. But if you want to take this even deeper, if you want to really unlock the power of practical astrology, you want to look at your personal transits. That is going to determine if this is a season of action or a season of reflection for you specifically, because it's going to look different for everyone. Some people are very much right now in a period of personal growth, of healing, of introspection, and others are very much feeling this fiery energy from Saturn and Neptune and Aries. They're feeling direct season, they're feeling Mars and Virgo, and they're ready to take on the world. And that depends on what's happening in your unique birth chart, because it's different for everyone. So I want you to check the bio on this video, the description below, for more information on booking a birth chart reading with me, so that we can talk about your personal transits and see where you're at specifically, because it might be different from what these global transits are indicating. And it's important that you have that information and you can make the most of it. So check out the description box where I have the link to book a birth chart reading with me. I would love to help you really discover what practical astrology really is and just how practical astrology can be. Saying that the summer solstice is going to be like a time of wealth or growth for everyone is just so surface level, and I'm over it. I want to help you learn more about your birth chart and what these astrological events mean for you. Where is Jupiter moving through your birth chart? Are you coming up to a Saturn return or any other kind of planetary return that means a new beginning for you? I really care about what is happening personally. Your birth chart is such a beautiful way to align yourself with the natural energetic cycles, come back to yourself, reconnect with yourself. It's a beautiful thing, and that's what I'm really passionate about. I share so much about the global transits, but that's where the power really is. If you want to keep up with the astrological updates that I share in the post tab and any future videos that I will be sharing here very soon, be sure to subscribe. I'm Gable Collings, and I'm hoping that you have a magical, beautiful, abundant summer solstice with so much to be grateful for.